Well, what do you want to talk about for today?
I'd like to talk about the article $730 school uniform.
Yeah, that is a funny one.
Hmm.
Okay, yes, let's go ahead. $730 uniform. So, have you already read this article?
Yeah, I've read this article.
Ah, that's nice. Okay, so please give me a summary of the article.
Okay. Uh, um, an elementary school in
Hmm.
Japan asked the designer named Armani design their school uniforms. The problem is its price. It's $730, so
Hmm.
it's too expensive. Parents protested at it, and the government is actually on parents' side because the school is public, so they think the school has to um, keep a certain range of price for school uniforms. And the school principal accepted their criticism, and
Hmm.
he is trying to explain um, to people who are worried about their school uniform.
Okay, good. Everything that I need to know. Good job. That was
Mhm.
a good summary. It
Thank
was very
you.
detailed and concise.
Mhm.
Now, what happened? Why do you think that this became a big issue?
Mm. Because it's too expensive, and the problem is actually the school asked the designer Armani to design their uniforms. They just want to represent the rich area around the
Hmm.
school, so they
Hmm.
want to show off. That's the problem, I think.
Okay. But why did the problem escalate? I mean, before you are going to give the final order, for example, I am the principal
Mhm.
and I am going to submit my decision to the
Mhm.
Ministry of Education, right? The
Mhm.
proposal, I mean to say. And then the Ministry of Education should say that no, this is too expensive. But I guess in this case, it
Mhm.
hasn't been done that way. Um, I think they just decided that, sure, let's go ahead. Let's do
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
So I think that is the problem here. There hasn't been any coordination with
Mhm.
other school officials,
Mhm.
and I think there was no talk between
Mhm.
the parents and the school officials.
Yeah. But
So, hmm,
mhm. In the most cases,
yes.
the school decide what kind of uniforms they will have. mm,
Oh,
Is
yes.
yeah, I just they don't need to get get acceptance from
Hmm.
education minister, or do they
Mm,
have to get the agreement from them?
okay. Yeah. So I think that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so what do you think? What do you think should this school do? Should they push with this kind of school uniform, or should they change it?
Yeah, I think they have to change it because um, many parents are
Hmm.
against it, and the government is also against it. So they don't have any option. Just they have to change the uniform. It if they decide that they will have this uniform, then it's
Hmm.
not only this time. It will last after the after how can I say it will last um, continuously. I mean,
Continuously.
other I mean next uh, next year, other new
Hmm.
students will come in the school, and there would be new parents. And if they got to know the price of a uniform is around $700, then who can
Hmm.
accept it easily? So I think, yeah, it's already issue now. So I think, yeah, it's better to change
Uh-huh.
it right now.
Okay. So if you are going to be asked, what is your price range? What is your price range for a school uniform?
I think under $200.
Hmm. Under
Mm-hmm.
under $200? Yes, I think that is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been looking for this in the
Mm-hmm.
internet. I
Mm-hmm.
have been searching it, and yeah, it is quite disappointing because it just looks like other uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. There was nothing special out of it. So the colors of the uniform were white, white top,
Mm-hmm.
and then black pants or black skirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a suit. Now the suit is, yes, it was stylish,
Mm-hmm.
but for the top and the bottom part, they were ordinary. I
Mm-hmm.
am not even going to pay $300 for them.
Mm-hmm. I think what they did was the name of designer, Armani.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
why, yeah, they paid a lot of money for school uniforms.
yes, you're right. That's a good point. And but first of all, why
Mm-hmm.
in the world did they choose Armani? He
Mm-hmm.
is really very popular.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that he would do, of course, it comes with a price.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of designers who are not as popular as Armani.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if they choose another designer, then yeah, probably it wouldn't be that expensive.
Yeah, but yeah, that uniform would not represent the rich area,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then yeah, they can't yeah, show off their
True.
uniform. Mm-hmm.
That is true. I agree with you. And I guess this is a this article. I guess it shows that sometimes people really wants to show off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, even though it is not needed,
Mm-hmm.
they still want to show off.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about uniforms,
Mm-hmm.
Elia,
Mm-hmm.
I think you already have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are they also wearing uniforms?
No. We don't. My son's school doesn't have any uniform, so he
Hmm.
just to wear ordinary clothes every day.
So plain clothes, casual,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
casual attire. Okay. So do you think that is an advantage? Does it have benefits, or do you want your son to wear a uniform?
Mm, both are okay. If there is a uniform in his school, I
Hmm.
don't need to care about his clothes. Sometimes he complained about his clothes a lot. Um, the design, or sometimes it's too uncomfortable, or sometimes it's too
Mm.
short. So if
Mhm.
but he has to wear uniforms, then if it's too tight for him, then
Mhm.
I just change it. I have to buy bigger one, yeah, and then all problems are solved. But no,
Okay.
yeah, so actually if I can choose, I prefer uniforms to just the
Mm.
casual clothes. But
Okay.
anyway, in his school there is no uniform, so I don't have any choice.
Mm. Well, yeah, that's the problem. If children doesn't have a uniform,
Hmm.
especially for girls,
Mm-hmm.
because they are quite into fashion. So
Mm-hmm.
they are more stylish compared to the boys.
Mhm.
Well, in general, I am not saying that boys don't know fashion, but in general, girls are more fashionable.
Mhm.
So sometimes, if you don't have a school uniform, you need to wear something that is very fashionable. And the problem is, fashion changes. It's a trend.
Mhm.
So probably for this season, you're going to wear a t-shirt and only jeans.
Mhm.
But for the next season, you're not going to wear them anymore. You're going to buy something new.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So you're right. Having a uniform has its benefits.
Mhm.
Although, as long as it is not a $730 uniform.
Mhm. But the problem of uniforms is that students have to wear the same clothes, and then it can make them
Yes.
all equal. So they, some people say, I don't agree with it, but some people say it's just how can I say, not make children creative. So if they can
Mm-hmm.
show their let's see, their style,
Creativity,
yeah,
style. Okay.
their own style, they have a choice to choose their clothes, then they can show their own style. But uniforms prevent them, yeah, from it. So some people, yeah, don't like uniforms. And
That's a good point.
yeah, and you said girls are more into how should I say,
Fashion.
yeah, fashion, and they are sensitive to fashion. But I have two kids. My son
Mm-hmm.
is more sensitive to clothes. He is not into fashion, but he complained a lot about everything. But my daughter, actually, she's young, so I think she doesn't know fashion that much. So it would be different if she grows up. So if she is like in her teens, yeah, she would
Mm-hmm.
be changed. But until now, yeah, she just obey what I ask to wear. So yeah, in my
What you tell
case,
her to wear.
yeah, what I tell her to wear. So
Mm-hmm.
in my case, yeah, anyway, girl, my daughter is just easy to control.
Mm. I mean, for now. But when she
For now.
grows up, I don't think so.
How about your daughter? As I remember, you have a daughter, right?
You're right. It's
hmm
so good for you to remember.
Yeah, I have a good memory.
Yes, you do. I agree. Well, my daughter is already 9, and yes, you're right. She, just like your son,
Uh-huh.
she also complains when she doesn't like what she's wearing. So,
Mm-hmm.
she is in the stage of um, picking her own style.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, sometimes we buy her the clothes that would look nice on her,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't agree sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
quite hard to shop clothes for her if she is not with you. So
Mm-hmm.
every time we buy her clothes, she must be present with us.
Mm-hmm. So, do you try to take her to the clothes shop?
I'm sorry, take
Uh,
her to the
take her to the clothes shop?
clothes
Uh,
shop. Yes, department store. Yes.
department store. Okay.
Hmm. I have
So.
to because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to waste my money if she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like it. She
Mm-hmm.
is not really going to wear it.
Mm-hmm. So, after if she choose her clothes, and then she doesn't complain about it at all.
No, she is not going to complain
Mm,
about it.
it's good.
Mm, yeah, but it depends because sometimes the clothes that she is going to pick is quite costly.
Uh-huh. Okay. But
You know,
mm,
the more if the clothes are in season, like it's the trend, then it
Mm-hmm.
is going to be more expensive compared
Mm.
to the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Then you don't need to go to the department store. Just to, there
Hmm?
is several stores and which is sell which is sell clothes at a reasonable price. You can take her to that kind of store.
Mm, you mean to say a thrift shop?
What shop?
Thrift shop.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on,
Okay.
I'm going to type it for you.
Okay. And please write down the comment you gave me while we are talking. So maybe I made
Hmm.
several mistakes, and then you collected my sentences while we are having class.
Yes.
Then please
Hmm.
write down on my feedback box.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem. I
Hmm.
am going to do that for you.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Don't mention it. Okay, so anyway,
Mm-hmm.
we call it a thrift shop.
Mm-hmm.
So usually they sell not only clothes, but they
Mm-hmm.
sell items which are 50% cheaper
Mm-hmm.
compared to the original price.
Mm-hmm.
For several reasons. Some of the items they might be used, but still in good condition.
Mm-hmm.
For others, there is a factory defect. Like for example, it doesn't have a button, or one sleeve is longer than the other one, but it's still fixable.
Mm-hmm.
So the factory is going to reject those kinds of products,
Mm.
and the thrift shops, they're going to buy it and they're going to sell it for a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm. How about outlet? I don't know. In Korea, we use that term, but as I
Hmm.
know, I've heard of um, the outlet, that word in America. The outlet,
Outlet.
outlet, not outlet,
Outlet.
outlet.
Okay. You're talking about an outlet store.
Yeah, so it's cheaper than. Uh,
Yes.
mhm,
So an outlet store is cheaper because it comes from the factory right away. So they don't have a middleman.
mhm,
So what I'm trying to say is after they manufacture the product, it goes directly to the outlet store.
mhm,
So the cost is cheaper. There is no middleman. They don't have to pay shipping fees. So it's
mhm,
cheaper.
mhm.
Although a thrift shop is still cheaper compared to an outlet store.
Hmm. In Korea, actually, the items in outlet is
Hmm.
not going from the factory right away. In
Hmm.
Korea, there are several items which are not sold. So after
Oh.
several years, then those items would go into the outlet, and then we can
Hmm.
buy, yeah, items. So. It's a
Okay.
little bit different. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different. I
Mhm.
agree. Yeah, but for us, this is how outlet stores work,
Mhm.
and it also has another name. Sometimes they also call it a depot.
Depot. Mhm.
Yes.
Depot.
So outlet stores, depots,
Mhm.
they're the same. They just have different names.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why. Yeah,
Okay.
English is really crazy. It
Yeah.
has a lot of names. It has a lot of words which has the same meaning.
Yeah. Because a lot of people use English, yeah, all over the world. So there are a
Hmm.
lot of terms created. Even yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Mm.
And even Konglish, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
you could also create your own
Yeah.
vocabulary.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but you are not alone. I mean, even here in my country, we also have something that we call as Philippinism.
Mhm.
Philippinism. So this is informal. it's quite similar to Konglish.
Mm-hmm.
So they combine Filipino words and then they create their own vocabularies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, it happens in every country. Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Just like, for example, Australia has their own vocabularies, and then South Africa is also an English country, but their English is way different to the
Mm-hmm.
English that I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, our time is up. Are you okay? I think you have another class after me. Nope.
Oh no, not at all, not at all.
Ah,
But
really?
I shall wrap it up. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have more questions, please ask me.
I don't have any question.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't have any questions either. So I'm going to end our conversation. And thank you so much for dropping by in my class.
Okay, thank you.
You're always welcome. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.
You too.